Effort equals meaning. It can be called the law of equal effort, and it's incredibly simple. Regardless of what life throws your way, what you put in it, albeit less or more, the results of what you put in determines what comes out the other end. Today, I want to show you by understanding the principle of applying yourself sacrificially will determine everything about what you're trying to accomplish. Your walk with God, even in this world, success in business, who you become in this life and perhaps eternity. So let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome back to Reason for Truth. I'm your host, Stephen Garofalo. Reason for Truth, where the truth comes first. Truth is that bad, espresso is the best. But really, we're talking about the truth of God. Truth that comes first, reasons come last. That's where we try to make sense of God's word and interpret it, exegete it. But where we're always constantly learning, so we stop learning, we stop teaching, or at least stop teaching well. And I'll tell you one thing, it took me a couple months to really master this espresso. And I tell you one thing, when you get a delicious cup of espresso, ain't nothing like it. I'm just telling you. A lot of people think that if they're trying really hard, that they should be given a chance. And listen, I think a chance is fair, but success is not guaranteed. It takes time to do something. Listen, the whole reason what made me talk about the espresso is it takes a little more time. You just don't push a button on a machine. You got to do it by hand. You got to measure it. You got to watch it, and you got to wait to just the right moment. You got to warm the water up beforehand. You should anyways. Well, listen, going back to the moral of the story, folks should be given, credit for their efforts. But listen, at the end of the day, success is not guaranteed. And the truth is that the world's an unfair place. You're not owed anything. And if you work hard, you put an effort into it, you learn real well, listen, you're still not owed anything. And you got to leave the results in God's hands. The bottom line is that in this world, trying hard is not an automatic ticket to success. Luck, timing, some people say there's no such luck. I would agree. I think it's God's providence. But some will say luck, timing, location, being in the right place. I'll just say, oh, that's according to God's will, his providence. There's a lot to it. Just because you do the same exact thing as someone else doesn't mean that's God's will for your life. The effort is assumed, right? It's expected, and the rest, though, shouldn't be in terms of the results. That being said, the law of effort over results does not apply to our pursuit of God through Jesus Christ. Listen, your pursuit of God, the progress you make in life over time, your lifetime, may vary, and it's going to vary. In terms of emotions, spiritual growth, and development. We all have peaks, we all have valleys, but in the end, you get to an amazing spiritual place from time to time with God, and eventually it's going to be just an amazing, constant, unbelievable state with the Lord in eternity. None of us want to get there any sooner than we need to, especially as we get older. But listen, your life's going to be changed forevermore with a relationship with Jesus Christ. That's going to just take you into eternity as opposed to take you well, we're all going to eternity. There's two places, heaven and hell, right? We're going to make sure we go to heaven. But I like to illustrate this point with you with my new mocha pot. Actually, it's not that new. You know what? I got so into this, I got the small one, which I have each morning. Then I got the medium one, in case one of my kids or my wife I want to make for them. Then what happens is Dad, I want that's like really good Lavazza coffee, all no GMOs, all natural, imported from Italy. And then they go, Dad, so what I had to do, get the 16-ounce pot. It's a monster. I'm not going to bring it out, but it's quite a bit bigger than this. Now, the espresso pot. Listen, I now pretty much only drink handcrafted Italian coffee made by an Italian American guy, me. I make it with my espresso pot. I don't use a machine. It's very cost effective, but it does take extra effort and time to make. So in the end, the taste is amazing. It's unmatched. It's just unbelievable. My walk with Christ is very similar to this in the time. Listen, it takes time with the Lord. You just can't just push a button and get it. I'm just going to have my quiet time. Boop, hit a button. It doesn't work that way. It's like going to the gym. You got to work on it. It takes discipline. That relationship, though, with the Lord is a relationship. It's not going to the gym. We need to be in prayer, study of God's word, hear what he has to tell us. It entails making notes in our Bible. It entails, getting my day started as soon as I can in the morning. So I meet with him before the day starts, study of God's word. Let him lead me and me not try to lead him, which we can't do anyways, throughout the day. That's my takeaway. The point, and simply is this: the effort equals meaning. Okay, it's important to understand and embrace the fact that things in this life that come too easy, they're typically not worth their salt because we have very little, if any, skin invested in the game, right? Into them. And this is true as well regarding our relationship with Jesus Christ. If we don't spend time with him, what kind of relationship do you expect to have? He's not his vending machine. Like any other relationship, what we put in is what we get out. Like that espresso pot, our time with God and being in his word will produce a very rich pot of deep, quality-driven relationship with God, just like that coffee, the God of the universe. So let's stop pushing the God button like that espresso machine versus the handcrafted. Let's get in, do a quick prayer here. All right, that's a 12.2 seconds. Instead, let's pursue him more deeply, more richly in love and in his word and through prayer. And I promise you, once you experience a deep, rich relationship, the aroma of this God-like, that's just like that mocha aroma, but with God from that. Listen, that espresso pot is good too. It helps wake you up to be in prayer, I'm telling you, and helps you study better when you have that mocha. It's pretty strong. But listen, we want to make sure that the pleasures of this world, recreation, they all pale in comparison to a true, rich relationship with God. Now, in conclusion, while this life is often driven by what can be called the law of equal effort, regardless of what life throws at you, what you invest into your relationship with God and all he has entrusted you with, and this, including the mission and the purpose he has for your life, the results of what you put in are going to determine what comes out the other end. And that's either a blessing or it's going to be a lack of blessing. And in the end, the principle of applying yourself proactively, sacrificially, out of love and desire once you do that. And with discipline, right? To love God with all your heart, mind, strength, and soul, and then just do the same thing to others. That's going to determine everything about who you are, what you're trying to accomplish in your life, with your walk in God, and in and for eternity. So that's all I'm going to say. If you want to learn more about that, we have a course called the Knowing God More Rightly. You can find that over at equippedacademy.com, or you can go to christianonlinetraining.com. Either one will take you. Then before you leave, do a few things. Share this with your friends. I'm telling you, it's free. Yeah, share it. Then make sure you like this. And before you go, man, you know what I always say. Bam! Garcia Sinistro, right hook. Bam! Garcia Sinistro, left hook. People are saying, well, that's a Sicilian, Italian, right hook, left hook, whatever works. Hit that subscribe bell. Bam! Now, I think that if you hit it hard enough, it should take that little bell and just ring, but it doesn't. It should do that on the mouse. Like if you really hit it hard, the little bell rings, but it doesn't. You have to hit the subscribe button, then you hit the little bell down there. You won't miss any of our episodes. So we'll see you at the next episode. I am your host, Stevie Garofalo, and this is your Reason for Truth for today.